Just because there isn't a yogurt function on the Ninja Combi does not mean that you can't make delicious homemade yogurt, because you can, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it, and it's super easy. Welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. And today's recipe is a very simplified version of homemade yogurt. We are gonna use Fairlife milk, which means that we can do a cold start yogurt. That just skips the heating and the cooling process, which probably cuts out about 2 hours or more of time when you're making homemade yogurt. Now, if you didn't want to buy the Fairlife milk, it is a little bit pricier than just a whole milk. You can buy whole milk and heat it on the stove and then cool it down. You want to heat it up to 182 degrees Fahrenheit, which is just below a boil, and then let it cool down to below 110 degrees. The reason why I don't do that in the Ninja Combi is because you have to heat it in the pan, in the Combi on sear saute, and it's just a little cumbersome, right? Because then you've got this liquid sloshing around, then you have to transfer it to another bowl to actually make the yogurt. I just found it to be a little bit too much. So I skip that part and get the Fairlife for making yogurt in the Combi. All right, so here is the Combi pan, and we're gonna use that. I'm gonna set it right here. I do have the rack in. That is gonna elevate our bowl of milk and yogurt starter above the water. We're gonna put 2 cups of water right there in the Combi pan. And then we're gonna mix up our milk and our starter. So you want to make sure that your Fairlife milk is brand new. It should not be opened before you make cold start yogurt. And we're gonna pour in about a cup and a half, you don't have to be exact. And then you're gonna add in between 2 and 4 tablespoons of a yogurt starter. This could be from your previous batch of yogurt that you made, or it can be a plain yogurt that you buy at the store. I usually buy the little small packs of Greek yogurt if I'm gonna start making yogurt and I don't have any leftover to use as the culture, okay? So 2 to 4 tablespoons. This is about 4 tablespoons, which is about 1/4 cup. The reason why I'm using that much, and yes, there's some left in the bowl, that's no big deal. The reason I'm using that much is because what am I gonna do with the 2 tablespoons of yogurt? And one of those little packets is about 1/4 cup. So I just throw it all in. I don't worry about it. Then we're gonna mix it up. But I will say, don't go more than that. Like, don't put in 1/2 cup thinking that's gonna speed up your process. Too much culture can actually inhibit the good bacteria from multiplying. So we don't wanna go too much, but anywhere between 2 and 4 tablespoons is fine. So now I just whisk this in, and I put a small amount of milk in at first, just because it makes it easier to see if you've got it all whisked in and no clumps, okay? And that looks good. You're not gonna believe how easy this is. It's amazing. Then we're gonna pour in the rest of our Fairlife milk. And this is 1.5 liters. That is about the max that you can do in the Combi in this bowl, because it has to sit on the rack here and be covered with plastic and still fit in the Combi. So any mixing bowl, any container, it doesn't matter. It can be glass, it can be metal, it does not matter as long as it fits into the Combi when it fits on the rack. You don't want the bowl sitting in the water. The water's gonna get just a little bit too hot, could kill the good bacteria, the yogurt starter that makes our yogurt. Final step, cover it with plastic wrap. That's just to prevent water from getting in as we incubate it. Now set the covered bowl on top of the rack here, and then we're just gonna put it right into the Ninja Combi. Lower level. So turn the Ninja Combi on, make sure your lever is down instead of up, because we're gonna use the sous vide function. Select the sous vide function, which is down at the bottom, and we're gonna take the temperature down to 120, the time up to 8 hours, and then you hit start. And that's it. In 8 hours, probably 8 hours and 5 minutes because it's going to take a little bit of time to preheat that water up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. But in 8 hours, roughly, you're going to have beautiful yogurt. It's going to be plain yogurt, but you can strain it for Greek yogurt. This is so easy to do. When the add food comes on, you don't have to do anything. Just leave it alone. It will automatically go off and continue the sous vide process. So you don't have to worry about that. You also don't have to worry if you're not right here when the 8 hours is up. It's perfectly fine for the yogurt to sit in there for a couple of hours. So if you're not right by your combi, don't worry about it. Now, quick tip. If you do not have the sous vide function, as I know some models do not, but you have the proof or the prove function, you can do the same thing, but just pour the milk and the starter right in the combi pan, whisk it up, and proof at 95 degrees. You're gonna set your time for 4 hours, and then you're gonna reset it again for another 4 hours. So you have a total of 8 hours of incubation time, which is what it takes to really make a delicious yogurt, in my opinion. The longer the incubation period, the more sour the yogurt is. So if you like a milder yogurt, 6 hours is usually the minimum to produce a nice yogurt. But 8 hours is where I like it. But you can go all the way up to 12 hours on the sous vide function. No problems at all. You're just gonna have a nice sour yogurt. All right, well, as soon as this is done, I will show you what it looks like. The moment of truth. So the combi finished the sous vide cycle for making our yogurt about an hour or so ago. And I want to just tell you that's okay. It can sit in the combi. You don't have to be right there when it shuts off. It's going to be fine. We've got the fermented yogurt, and as it sits in there, the good bacteria that makes yogurt is so active that nothing bad, no bad bacteria is going to grow, okay? Now don't leave it in there for like 4, 5, 6 hours, but an hour or two is perfectly fine. Just keep in mind, the longer your yogurt ferments, the tartar it becomes, okay? So that could be a preference. You may find that you want to set your sous vide time to 6 hours because you like a milder yogurt. So it's perfectly fine to play around with it, but you are going to need at least 6 hours to get a good yogurt. Okay, now let's open up the door and see what we have, because you know, sometimes things do go wrong. Sometimes something happens and it doesn't work out. But I have had such great success with this method that I think you're gonna find that it is the easiest way to make yogurt and pretty much foolproof. All right, so the way to tell is, of course, to kind of lean it to its side. It's definitely solidified. We're good, we're good. And I saw the whey on the top. So that is normal. It's gonna look a little bit liquidy on the top because that is the whey, all right? And I'm gonna explain that, and that's only part of the whey. And I'm gonna explain what you can do if you want Greek yogurt. Right now, this is regular, plain yogurt. And although I'm gonna show you the consistency, I do recommend leaving the plastic wrap on, putting it in the refrigerator, and letting it chill for about 4 hours or so. Because right now it's gonna be kind of on the warm side, right? And we don't usually eat warm yogurt, but I'm gonna take one for the team here and I'm gonna show it to you just the way it is. And we're gonna pretend it's cold, right? So look at that. That is beautiful, but that is just regular yogurt. So it is going to be a little bit runnier than Greek yogurt. I'm gonna show you the difference just a second when I get the strained yogurt out. But this is the perfect yogurt if you like plain regular yogurt, okay? It's just gonna be thinner than Greek yogurt. Oh my goodness. That is delicious. Even a little bit warm, it is very good, but it would be so much better cold. Now, where I took that scoop out, can you see this yellow liquid? Again, that's the whey. So after it chills, you can strain it. And I do recommend chilling it before you strain it because you're gonna have an easier time of getting the whey separated. You can strain your yogurt in a flour sack, which is basically a cotton towel with very small weave to it. That works great. You just have to hang it somewhere and let the whey drip out. You can also use something like this, which is a yogurt strainer. And this one's a large one, which I actually really like. So what happens is you put your chilled yogurt in here, then you let it sit in the refrigerator for a day or so, and all the whey will drain down into the bottom, and you're left with a really nice thick yogurt. And I'm going to show you that consistency right now. Look at that. So that is a lot thicker than the unstrained yogurt. This is my preference of yogurt. Okay, I like to always turn mine into Greek yogurt, but it's totally up to you. Now you can dress up your yogurt any way you like. Just keep in mind that this is plain yogurt. It's not sweetened. I actually like it though. I like the way it tastes. I think it's fine. But if you want a little bit of sweetener on there, add a little honey. That's always delicious on this yogurt. A little honey. And then I'm a big fan of crunch, so I like to add a few little slivered almonds to mine, and then some homemade craisins. So these are dehydrated cranberries that I made, and they are absolutely delicious, and you can make them too if you have a dehydrator or any appliance that does the dehydrate function, and I have that recipe on my website, thesaltedpepper.com. And here we go. So now with all the add-ins, right? And of course you can add anything, any kind of fruit, anything you like. Wow. Absolutely delicious. I mean, so good. I'm getting a little tart from the cranberry though, but it's still so good. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So honestly, of all the ways that I make yogurt, which is a lot of them, if you don't mind using the Fairlife milk, it is a little bit pricier than the whole milk. Or you can always boil your milk, like I said earlier in the video, and do the same process, just boil it and cool it, then whisk in your starter. But this is the easiest way I've ever found to make yogurt, and it has turned out beautiful every single time.